Hi, and welcome to One Simple Recipe, where we're hoping to get you one step closer to better health. I'm Judy Matusky, a registered dietitian with Athens Nutrition, as well as a culinary nutritionist, and happy to be here today because we are sheet panning it. So this is a chicken Caesar tray bake, or one sheet pan meal, right? So this is exactly the kind of meal we need right now, this time of the year, basically all year, but this time of the year especially because it is so busy. And we have to eat well, and we have to eat, right? And ideally, we want to eat as healthy as we can because we know those holidays are creeping up pretty quickly. We already made it through one, and there's many more to come. So today, it's all about doing everything on a sheet pan, and it's going to be finished in about 15-20 minutes. We are actually going to be roasting frozen vegetables on the sheet tray, and this is something that you can do. You can do it with just about any frozen vegetable, so it is a little, easy hack. So you don't always have to be cooking from fresh vegetables. It's whatever we can do to increase your vegetable intake. We're using frozen green beans. These I picked up at just the regular supermarket. This is a Hanover brand. With this recipe though, for the frozen green beans, you ideally want like a French type of green bean or a petite kind of green bean. They work definitely a lot better than, just kind of a thicker, a little bit, little tougher green bean that sometimes you can get when you get frozen green beans. So that's ideal because we want these to cook quickly. I think the recipe calls for 16 ounces. I'm going to use 24 because I think the more the better. This is only a 12-ounce package, so I would probably use 2 of these on the bottom of the sheet tray. So that's what's going in on our sheet tray. I have it lined with parchment. I already have my oven set at 450, so it's a really hot oven. And I am going to add all of these, green beans. They're frozen. I did not defrost them. So if you're going to just do a sheet pan full of frozen vegetables, just put them on your sheet tray frozen, whether it's, cauliflower, broccoli. And then I just usually drizzle a tiny bit of olive oil on it and mix them up, and then maybe some salt and pepper. I'm not going to really do that today because we're going to use a great sauce that is going to really bring this whole chicken Caesar tray bake together. So it's kind of like a riff on a chicken salad, only we're going to do it as a warm, hot entree. All right, so that goes on. Then the next step is you need about 1 pound of chicken breast. You could get chicken tenders, or you could get the already thinly sliced chicken breast. I had 2 full chicken breasts, and I just sliced them thin. The trick here is you do really want them thin because, let me see if I tried to, when I was slicing them, I was trying to make them all pretty thin. You want them pretty thin because this whole thing is meant to cook pretty quickly, and we want the green beans to kind of cook around the same time as the chicken. And so the thicker the chicken is, it's going to take too long. So you really want them thin. I'm just going to lay them. This seems so weird. The first time I made this, I was like, really? I'm laying them? You're laying these right on top of the frozen green beans. So, because everything's going to cook together. So you kind of want to spread out. I'll show it to you in a second. But you're spreading out the chicken over top here. So we're trying not to we don't want the chicken to go on top of each other. We're kind of spread it out because, again, we want this chicken to thoroughly cook in the oven at the same time we're kind of roasting these green beans. But believe me, it works. When I did it the first time, I was like, I don't know if this is really going to work. But it does. All right, so let me get this whole. This was probably more like 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. This might be a little bit more than I need, but I'll see if I can get it all to fit. Again, and then I'm going to season this now with just a little bit of salt and pepper once I get these on here. And then I'm going to try to make them all fit because I just don't want a few stray pieces of chicken that what am I going to do with them, right? So try not to overlap as best I can, but I'm going to see if I can get them all to fit on here. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. All right, this one seems a little thicker, so I'm going to put this one here at the end, to make sure that this gets cooked. All right, I think we did it. All right, let me put this in the sink. I'm gonna rinse my hands, even though I did not touch the chicken with my hands, which I don't really love to do because I don't love that with raw chicken. All right, so here we have the thin chicken breast. You're just laying them right over the frozen green beans, or it could be frozen cauliflower, as long as they're not real big chunks, and frozen, broccoli. All right, I already have it at 450, so these are going to go in. I don't know that we will get them done. I'm going to set the timer. I think, just my double check, I think it's 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to set it for 16. We'll be closing up before this comes out, so I'll do what I normally do, because this is the difficulty with live cooking. When things take a little bit longer, I can't always show you the end result while we're on here right now, but I'll bring it back on and I'll show it to you. All right, so easy. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let me pull them back out. I wanted to just season them a little bit. But the dressing that we're using for this, I'm telling you, is really awesome. So you almost don't have to season these, but I am going to just take a little salt and pepper and give it, you could drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil if you wanted to. I just don't think you need it, because when I show you the dressing, you'll understand why. Okay. So a little salt and pepper, just to kind of, when you're cooking, especially when you're cooking in a little bit of a lighter way, it is helpful to kind of season along as you go, season every level, because you're just really trying to get as much flavor out of what we're cooking as possible. All right, before we do this, I am going to just do a little thing, so bear with me, on just food safety, because that's a big deal to me. It should be to you as well. But when you're cutting chicken, I hope that a raw chicken, I hope you have a cutting board that's kind of designated for your raw chicken. Or, you could have one for raw beef or raw pork. I don't really cook a lot with red meat, so I don't really use that, but I do use one for fish and I do use one for chicken. And I keep these separate. I replace them frequently. I use these just little kind of plastic ones just when I'm cutting something, and I can wash it really well, and then I don't use them that long, and then I'll just replace them because they're not that expensive. But I just don't like doing it on your cutting surface. If it's your cutting board or whatever one you're using for your vegetables or other foods that you would eat kind of raw, just to limit that cross-contamination. So that's something that I really, really like to do, and I usually try to protect whatever board I'm using, so I put that right on top. All right, so we're going to be making the dressing. So this is what makes it that chicken Caesar salad. This really brings that flavor energy to this dish. And I'm going to double this recipe just because I love this sauce. I use it for so many things. It's so good, and it tastes great on a lot of different things. So I'm going to go ahead and make double the amount, but the recipe calls for 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. It's 2 tablespoons of just regular mayonnaise, and then 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, plain non-fat, low-fat Greek yogurt, and then 2 tablespoons of our Worcestershire, which is always impossible to say. All right, so I already have 2 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce in here, because I wasn't sure if I had enough. No, actually, I think I have 3. I'm like, oh, do I have enough? I didn't have an extra bottle, and I have probably just enough. So I had 4 tablespoons in here. All right, and then we're going to do, so mayonnaise, I'm going to try to use up the last of the mayonnaise that's in here. So like I said, it's about 2 tablespoons each of mayonnaise. And this is just a really nice way to lighten up some dressings if you like to. And I like the mayonnaise. I'm going to use 4 tablespoons though, because remember I'm doubling this, but it would normally just be 2 is all you would need for this if you're making this dish. I think I'm using up like everything here. I got 2 things I'm going to the end with, which is my mayonnaise and my Worcestershire sauce. All right, so that's about 4 tablespoons of just regular Hellmann's mayonnaise. You don't have to go light, just go regular, because we are lightening it up with using some non-fat Greek yogurt, although I think this is just regular plain yogurt. It's not Greek, but that's fine. So I'm going to equal amounts of the yogurt. And I love the yogurt in here because it just adds a nice tang to this, which I think it needs, because we have a little saltiness, and then we have that creamy kind of rich flavor from the mayonnaise. And I just think the yogurt really adds a nice little tang, and it lightens it a little. And we're going to also use some lemon wedges at the end. And then I'm going to keep this, let me take this out, so I'll keep it in. Then it's about 1/3 cup of some grated, 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan, but again, I'm doubling it, so I'm making a lot. This is a pretty full jar here. All right, so here's the dressing, and I'll just stir, and then just going to stir it around. I thought I could probably just shake it with the lid on, but it's pretty thick. So let me just stir it around. Now, it's not the most beautiful color because of the Worcestershire sauce. That obviously is gonna make it get a little bit kind of on the beige tone, but that's okay. It looks great when it's drizzled on top of it looks great when it's drizzled on top of the chicken and the green beans. All right, so there's our sauce, and you can see it made a lot, but I doubled it, so I'll use some for this when it comes out, and then I will then save it because I'm going to use it for a lot of other things. All right, so that's it. That's it. This is your dinner, and because you got your vegetable, you've got your protein, and you got a little flavor bomb sauce, and then it pulls it all together. Now, if you're really hungry, you certainly could add some. This would be good with maybe some rice, or if you wanted to do even some pasta on the side, or good, whole grain bread. That's fine. It's up to you. But it's good just as is. It's really fabulous. It's all on one sheet tray, and it's parchment lined, so there's not even anything to clean up, basically. Now, so when it comes out, and maybe I'll hold off and show you. So when you pull it out, we're going to drizzle it, and then we're going to decorate it. So we're going to add a little bit of crunch at the end. So if you're not going to be able to jump back on, I'm just going to finish it with a little bit. You could do toasted nuts on top when it comes out would be great. You could do toasted almonds or toasted walnuts on the top. I'm not going to go that direction. I have a whole bunch of some breadcrumbs that I made that are pretty chunky. I'm going to, and they're already toasted, and I think I even have them seasoned a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle those on top to bring a little texture and some crunch to this. So it's drizzling the sauce, adding a little bit of breadcrumbs or whatever crunchy topping you want. And then I'm going to wedge up a lemon, and then we'll kind of lay that on the tray. So you can kind of just serve it as is, just as like a tray bake, right? So give it a try. I will be back on to show you the finished dish. Again, happy holidays. This is going to be the last one we're going to be doing for the 2024. So next time I see you will be, well, you'll see me when I come back with the chicken, but when I come back with another cooking video, it won't be till 2025. And 2025 is quickly approaching. Remember, Athens Nutrition, we really specialize in adults 55 and up. We're really helping you kind of fine tune, maybe get a little nutrition tune up. You might be finding that you're finding some things that are really kind of starting to happen with your health that you really want to kind of get a handle on, and nutrition and diet can play a really important role in a lot of those circumstances, whether it's elevated cholesterol or whether it's blood sugar concerns or whether it's insulin issues. So reach out. We are here to help you with that. We can really kind of help you get set up on a really good eating plan that's personalized for you. So it's not just a plan we go to anybody. It's really, we spend a lot of time really working with you to make sure that it's very personalized, doable, enjoyable. Everything tastes good, as you know, because that's certainly important to me, but also that we're really focusing on your individualized health goals, all right? So reach out if you need that. It's Athens Nutrition, and I will see you in about 10 or 15 minutes when this comes out, and I'll pop back on just to show you the final product. All right, see you soon.